Being a creator is a tough job. With over 500 hours of content uploaded to YouTube every single minute, it is tough to stand out, and the moment you find something that shines the spotlight on you, it's impossible to give it up and you have to recreate the same kind of content over and over again. The combination of these factors is what forces your favorite YouTuber to succumb to the burnout. This is how the creators fell out of love with their own creations. But things are not that dire. There's a way to combat the oversaturation on YouTube, and there's a way to remain in love with this very odd job that we all do. The person who will lead us on this journey is RachLee, a creator who is primarily known for her expertise in the stationery equipment, in doodling, and other DIY-like projects. Amanda is a veteran of YouTube with over 10 years under her belt. Like many at her age, she started in the fashion haul, lifestyle, DIY, and gradually evolved into the kind of content we see today right around 2017. This means 5+ years of creating the same kind of content every single week. And on top of that, with her very successful release of the stationery line, something went wrong and Amanda got tipped over the edge.
I think I was just overwhelmed by the expectations from everyone and also the expectations that I put on myself. And finally, it got to me.
The break that she ended up taking was very well warranted because it gave her an ability to step away from her creator business. But taking a break is like releasing the pressure from the valve. It doesn't solve the core of the issue that builds up the pressure. The long-term solution to this problem would be changing the way you produce the content or the kind of content you produce, which in itself introduces a lot of anxiety for the creator because the audiences do not always welcome the change. So does it mean that the creator is doomed if they do and doomed if they don't? Not necessarily. There is a way for the creator to retain the core of why the audience comes to their channel, isolate it, and then put it into the new kind of format. RachLee did just that. She took her favorite subject of doodling, combined it with the celebrity interview format, and created a very amazing effect. The first episode of her interview show, called The Drawing Board, is with a jazz singer-songwriter Lo-Fi, and it's very organic. It's very natural. It's very unique in the sense that you get to know pretty much both of the characters, Amanda and Lo-Fi, together discussing certain topics that are close to their hearts from the lens of Lo-Fi's music. It's refreshing. It's actually interesting for someone like myself who is not necessarily Amanda's long-term fan, and I've not been consuming her content until I watched that interview. Amanda is not the first one to try out this format. iDubbbz with Dax Flame and their Hot Seat, Amanda and her Chicken Shop Date, and even more mainstream corporate shows like Hote Ones or Cold as Balls with Kevin Hart. Those are the examples of creating an interview format around a unique premise that puts those celebrities or those guests into interesting situations and throws them off their regular game, which in return produces very interesting and enticing conversations that you will not find on your regular channels or regular morning show interviews. And because you introduce your favorite topics into this unique format, like hot sauces and wings or doodling, you as a creator get a chance to scratch your own itch with trying something new, yet you retain your audience interest in the subject. As a creator, nothing stops you from experimenting with different formats while still retaining the main core audience interested in the subject that you usually cover. You might be car repair shop YouTube channel. Why won't you try out and invite a guest and together you guys repair a car and talk about certain subject, car design, car manufacturing, things of that nature. You are a cooking channel. You can invite a fellow other creator, you can invite a famous chef, and together you can try out some odd, unique recipe, TikTok recipe, and while you're recreating it, you conduct the interview process. Your imagination can run wild with those ideas. Just make sure you ask yourself these 3 questions. Does it still match the interest of your audience? You do not want to introduce too big of a swing in the kind of content you produce so that you can retain the attention of your current core audience. Does it differ enough from the kind of content you create today? Because if it's still too adjacent, if you're already conducting interviews and you're just doing a different kind of interviews in a different setting, it might still reintroduce that burnout feeling just 2 months down the line instead of having it right now, immediately. And third, have someone attempted something like this before. There is a chance someone tried so you can learn from their experience, or no one ever tried and you have a golden egg on your hands. And if you execute it right, you might create a very unique viral kind of content that will carry your channel to the next level. And if you're still not sure what that video format might look like, here's an idea. Take a table, fill out the first column with different kind of subjects you usually cover on your YouTube channel. Second column, fill it up with different kind of formats of videos that you've seen produced on YouTube. And in the third column, different kind of events or angles to those events that you could take. And then try to find unique combinations through this table and brainstorm your ideas and how that would fit within the specific format with the subject that you're covering and with a unique take on it. Ceramic classes while doing creator economy trivia? Anyone? Just me? Ignore my flat jokes. Down below, I'll link the table that I used. Feel free to download it and use it for yourself and let me know what kind of unique combinations you came up with. And just for yourself, go check out the drawing board. The show is great. It's an interesting first episode. I'm curious to see what the following episodes will bring. Check out some of those other shows that I mentioned. I'll link them all down in the description below. And just let your imagination run loose. It's a tough job. I said it at the top of the video, yet Amanda RachLee proves to us that even after 10 years, you can still find ways to fall back in love with what brought you to the platform in the first place. If you're curious to learn more about other DIY arts and crafts creators who are doing something new and different, check out this video that I made about Sarah Renee Clark. This woman made $50,000 with her latest project that now enables her to reinvest into her future content. And if you enjoy my kind of videos, click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next Saturday. Peace!